The woman from Tivoli who was a higgler and free zone worker and who later went on to hold prestigious positions in banking tells her story on Profile. Welcome, I'm Ian Boyne. Dr. Janice Brooks is the author of this little book which tells a big story anchored in purpose. And that is certainly the story of her life, an extraordinary story. She moved from being a higgler, free zone worker, someone whose life would just have ended up in purposelessness. But because of her tremendous drive and determination, she has been able to achieve her goals. Goals which, when she spoke about them to her friends, when she was in her valley, they thought that she was being delusional. But by the strength of purpose and persistence, she has achieved her dreams. Good to have you on the program, Janice. You were, when you left Jamaica in 2015,
yes.
You were assistant vice president at First Global Bank. Before that, you had worked a number of years at CIBC, First Caribbean.
Correct.
And you also worked at NCB.
Yes.
So you had chalked up some successes in banking in Jamaica. And now you're working in one of the largest financial institutions in the U.S., Wells Fargo.
Yes, I now work at, I'm now a banker at Wells Fargo, yes. And I started in banking in 1992. And I'll tell you how I became a banker back then. Because I remember we used to go to that bank, at Scotia Bank in Ligani, to cash those little checks, because I was working at another place.
Oh,
it was Ministry of Agriculture then. I'd left the free zone and gone to Ministry of Agriculture. And we used to go and cash those checks. And every time I look over the counter at those bankers, I say, I must work in a bank.
You said that?
I have to work in a bank. And I didn't just say it, I went and wrote it down on a piece of paper.
Yes.
And every time I go in the bank, I say, I'm going to work in a bank. I have to work in a bank. So let me tell you something about the power of the spoken word. You have to say it out, and you have to walk with that determination after you have said it. Mm-hmm. You understand me? Because you can't just say it and leave it, You have to walk with it. Yes.
Yeah. Let us walk back to St. Elizabeth,
yes,
where you grew up. Mm-hmm. Dirt poverty. One of how many children?
Last of 8.
Last of 8?
Yes.
Describe the conditions
in
that place that you came from in St. Elizabeth.
Well, first of all, I was born in a little district called Thornhill. A lot of people don't know it because some people say it's not on the map. Because it's a little district. It's somewhere between Alpart and Santa Cruz.
I see.
So that's where I started my early years. Mm-hmm. And then we moved into another little district called Buena Vista, mm-hmm, which was a little further and closer to Santa Cruz. But my parents were farmers. Subsistence farming, just to put on the table, yes, and thing. So my mother used to sell bami and pear and fish with it, we used to call it pudding pan in those days. Walk with pan on our head. Mm-hmm. and sell all the way to Alligator Pan Junction and sell the little thing just to keep us in school and to make sure that we...
But you were doing well in school and passed the common entrance?
Well, I was always a bright child.
You were always?
I was always a bright child because I love to read. Can I tell you, when I was like 9 years old, I was helping the Sunday school teacher to teach Sunday school. Okay. She put me beside her and we doing the thing together. So I was always a bright child. I was the only one in 14 to pass common entrance in that school. So it was like a big thing.
Yes.
It was like a big thing. So I passed common entrance and went to the Carteret College in Mandeville.
Yes,
that was far from where we lived. That was like probably 20 or 30 miles from where we live. So it was like a dilemma when I passed to go to, because how am I going to get to Mandeville? How am I going to manage that? And not having the money, my parents didn't have it, to say board me at school or whatever. You understand me?
So how it work out?
So my mother was a lady of persistence, you know, I think I took
Yes,
it from
took it
her.
from her.
Yes, she was a lady of persistence, so she started search out to find family and everybody who I could stay with in Mandeville for me to go to the Carteret College. She actually tried to get me into Hampton, which was a nearer school,
Yes.
but they were filled, so I didn't get to go to Hampton. So eventually she found like a second cousin of my father up in Mandeville, so I decided to be their boarder.
Okay.
You know, and they took me in, and in those days Mandeville was like cold. You know the days when Mandeville was really
Yes,
cold,
yes.
it was like cold. So I stayed with them, and that was also another dilemma, because I went to stay, and she had 2 sons, and that was another story. Yeah, that was another story, but God helped me. Yes, so I spent a year there with them.
From them two boys there.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
because yes.
We know it goes.
All right.
Yes, yes.
So after a year, my mother got me a transfer to States.
You went to
So no,
States.
I went to States. So I spent 4 years
So
at
a lot
States.
of hopes were invested in you, but you got pregnant.
Oh my God.
Or 17 or so you got pregnant.
I got pregnant because I passed common entrance early.
Yes.
Because I was bright. I tell you, I was bright. So I
Okay.
passed common entrance early. But, you know.
You get a fall.
Yes. So I got
how you
pregnant at 17 plus.
17 plus.
Just after graduating. I don't even sure if I did graduate good. But I got
So how-
I got pregnant at 17. And
you
I think
you pass your 6 years now.
yes,
okay?
man, I got 4-6.
You got your
full 4
4.
6, yes. And so that disappointment
Yes.
that you know
Tell me
came
how that
on to my
affected your
family.
life. Yes.
It affected every part, because let me tell you something about going back to the power of words again.
Yes.
Because it's like everybody start despise me now. Everybody turn against me. They put
Your
some
life
words
done.
on me. You're
Yes.
not coming
You're
to
not come to
anything.
anything.
You're worthless. You're good for nothing. I mean, every part of the family.
Yes, yes.
Uncle, auntie, even some sisters and brothers, they just...
Everybody write you off.
Yes. And I don't think they hated me, you know.
No, no, no,
It's
no.
just the disappointment that
Disappointment,
came with
so
it, because they're
intense.
looking for this little girl now to come
Take
up and
shame out
do
of the
something. You
family,
understand
aye.
me? Yes. And so that was it.
Yes.
But let me tell you something. There is a thing that is called persistence and perseverance.
Yes.
You understand me? And when you look ahead, you understand me, and you recognize that, look here, are going forward.
So you weren't
In
gonna let that
spite of-
hold you back?
No,
You
no.
knew you could still
I
achieve.
knew that I was going ahead. I was moving ahead. It doesn't matter what. And I had some really rough times, you know.
Yes.
Pregnant, not have nothing pregnant for somebody who couldn't help me either.
Couldn't help you. Yeah.
And so I had some really rough times. There was days when I never had anything to eat.
Yeah, as a pregnant.
As a pregnant mother, I didn't have the things, the necessity that were
Yes,
given to
yes,
pregnant people.
yes.
You understand me? I was in hardship. As a matter of fact, there was a time when all I had on my foot was a slippers. We used to call it push-toe slippers, where you push between your toes.
That's all you have?
That is all I had. And guess what happened? The slippers pop out. And I took up nail and push it through the thing under the bottom of the slippers, so it keep the thing. And that is all I had. So most of the time I walk barefoot. Because,
barefoot?
yes, man, me only put on the slippers when somebody see me. So when me come like near to the district shop and them part, then me drop the slippers and take me time, put it on like something a happen. But not never did that happen. Because I walk barefoot, because
Of a spirit.
I had to spare it.
Yes.
Because I couldn't afford it. I got to the stage where I couldn't even buy the simplest thing, ice cement. And I'm going to tell you
Couldn't buy
something.
ice cement?
Which ice cement? I'm going to tell you something about what happened one day. So my mother saw that I was in so much distress. I never had anything. I just sit down under a mango tree and never had anything to eat. And I remember she called me around the side of the house. And she said to me, go out to that mango tree and pull away a stone that you see near to the mango tree. You'll find a 50 cents underneath it. Take it, go buy something to eat. Because she realized white squall would have killed me.
Yes.
You understand me? So those were some of the things. But I want to, I'm telling this story today because I want to encourage somebody.
Yes.
Because let somebody see the doctor behind me name or say me go here or go there and don't understand, because sometimes they see the glory and they don't know the story.
Yes.
You understand me? And I want to encourage somebody today that it doesn't matter where you have been or what you have been through, so long as you march forward with persistence and hope. Because there's a thing called hope, you know. And the Bible says hope make you not ashamed.
Yes.
Because once you hope and move forward with that hope, that there's a better day ahead, there is nothing that can beat that hope.
Janice Brooks's inspiring story. This is something that you'll be talking about. We take our first break on Profile.